If you're looking to build a train layout underneath your Christmas tree, stay tuned.
Oh yes. About happy day.
Alright, show the leveler. Alright, now let's put it on the framework. And let it go. Is the bubble between the two lines?
Yep, it is.
It is. So that means that our framework is level.
Yep.
Now that I know that my framework is level, I'm going to go ahead and put on my platform. I'm using Homosew along with plywood to be this top level here. I will eventually have a train go underneath and a train go above it. Now what I've done is, now that I've built my framework, I've identified where the exact center point is. And then I've identified where the center point is going to be on my platform. This way I can make sure that this is going to be level, is going to be centered on our platform. Now that I laid this and it's centered up with my framework, what I did prior to putting this on was I made little pencil marks that identified where the framework is. So that this way when I go to screw in this surface into the framework, I'll make sure that I'm right into the center of the frame. We just spent the day going to the Central Operating Line swap meet where I picked up this whole box of track for just about 10 bucks, which is really great. I also picked up some bumpers that I'm going to need. I'm going to have a bump and go trolley right up here on my third level tier. What I have now is more of the concept that's now reality. I have everything laid out the way I had drawn it up and imagined it. As I said before, I have a piece of plywood here along with some Homosew laying on top of it. On the bottom I have just a regular block styrofoam here. And what I'm going to do is I went out and I picked up these wooden dowels at the dollar store. I picked up a whole bunch of them. And then using this Easy Cutter Ultimate that I picked up at a hobby store, I just cut them into 3 inches. That's fine if you don't have that. You can just use a regular box cutter. Now what I'm going to do is all these pieces that I have located down at the bottom. Yeah. So yes, my daughter whispered to me that she wanted to say what she got at the swap meet. Why don't you show everyone what you got today? Got little choo-choos. What color are they?
Red, blue, yellow, blue.
Very good, very good. She likes those trains, but she loves these more, especially the Santa Fe. So, like I explained before, I have a Homosew with the plywood for the upper level. The lower level is just a regular piece of styrofoam, block styrofoam that I have is 6 inches wide by 2 inches high. I have it all along the base, and the reason for that is because of the fact that I have a laminated floor and I have a basement underneath. So if I were to have that tubular track just straight onto this floor, it would be really noisy. So I went ahead and I had the lower foundation is going to be the platform, the styrofoam, and then I had these 1-inch dowels that I got. These 6-inch dowels. I cut them down into 3 inches long. What I'm going to be doing is drilling in 2 holes into these into the styrofoam and then plugging these in. This way I can make sure that all the connections are together. I don't want them absolutely secure. I don't want to glue them because of the fact that I'm going to be dismantling this after the holidays. But I do want it in there so that it doesn't shift. So what I went ahead and did was a little trick that I learned, okay, is to measure the amount of space that you need, because once that drill bit starts going in there, you're going to easily drill too far. You don't want to drill too far because you want to make sure that this is split in the middle between 2 pieces of styrofoam. So I have cut this down into 3 inches, and then I put little blue painter's tape 1.5 inches down so that I know that it's going to be exactly when I know that I hit my 1.5 inches into the boards to make sure that they're together. Alright, so as I was explaining a little bit before, where I'm going to put the dowels into the styrofoam so that I can connect the 2 pieces. So what I'm going to do is just, now that I drilled my holes into this one, I'm just going to insert my dowels right in. And now that's going to hold through the vibrations of the train going by. Again, I don't want to make it permanently fixed because I'm going to be breaking this down and then putting it into storage, but right now, that's going to be a hard fix. Voila! just like that, with a blink of an eye, our tree is now up, it's decorated, our track is laid out on our platform, and we have this snow covering that's going to be on here. The reason why I don't want to paint this white is because if I ever want to take this out for a Halloween decoration or a Thanksgiving decoration or something like that, I can do that, and snow wouldn't apply to that. So having this temporary cover on here really makes it nice and decorative and seasonal, but not on a permanent look. Okay, so what I've done here is I've had the single track that goes around, and I'll show you a little bit later how in the back I'm using old trestles that I didn't use on my permanent layout, extra trestles that I had. So that's what I'm using to make the increase and decrease, the incline and decline that's going to be in the back. All right, so it's a single, loop that's stacked on top of each other. What I also have up here is an elevated trolley line, a bump and go trolley. I'm also going to show you how I secure the ends with 2x4s, and then I used L brackets to attach them to the platform. The reason being is because every time that trolley is going to bounce back and forth, even though it really doesn't have a lot of weight, every time it moves it's going to create force and create it to slide. So you just want to kind of secure the ends down really good. Now what I've done in order to elevate this second track is I used the styrofoam, the same styrofoam material that I had to use for the lower level. I've also used it here. I cut it to the same width. I didn't want it too high because I didn't want it being completely blocked by the tree. I just wanted to elevate it so that it would go stand above the buildings we're going to have here, but not too high up into the tree. I cut the small foam to go underneath to support it, and I have it also braced by the wooden brackets that are the wooden braces at the end. One thing I wanted to make sure I did with this layout specifically is have some element of interaction for my daughter. So I installed this button here, which provides power to the crossing buck. This way the lights can come on whenever she presses it, rather than just having it set up on an isolated track and go on only when the train goes by. She can get the thrill out of just pressing the button and having the lights come on. If you have a video of a train layout that's underneath your Christmas tree and you want to share with us, we'd be happy to watch it. Post your link in the comments below. And from WTF, Once Train Fanatics, we want to wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.